have an anniversary coming up, so instead of working on gears, I'm going to be making some jewelry. The base of it is going to be a silver quarter from Hawaii. So I have the silver quarters from Hawaii. They're 90% silver, so they're pretty good for jewelry. I have some coarse sand, which is apparently still wet. I have some finer sand. And then I have some pieces of glass and little bits of shells. Stuff like that's probably too big. So let's see what I can make. For this first one, I think I'm going to make it into a straight bar, which means the first step is to make it into a ring shape, and then you cut the ring and flatten it out into a bar. So to make the ring, I need to punch a hole through. Next step is annealing the quarter, which will make it nice and soft so I can bend it. I'm going to heat it up and then quench it in the water. Making the ring shape starts with these forming dies, which will squish the coin into a cone shape. Working the silver makes it hard, so one more time annealing. Going from the cone shape to a ring with flat sides is on an expanding mandrel, and I have plastic to try and protect the inside of the ring to keep all the lettering on it. And then one more time into the press, which is going to get the bottom edge tucked in so the walls will be straight. Now that I have the ring shape, I can cut it and then start forming it into a bar. Once it's in the rough shape, I can start hammering to get it flatter, and this will also harden it pretty quick. At this point, the bar is relatively flat and straight. I might try to straighten that edge a little bit more. It's twisted. The ends will get rounded off, so I don't care as much that they aren't straight. And then I'm planning on cutting a channel through the middle, and that's where all the sand and stones are going to go. So I have to plan that part out now. And the Hawaii lettering is still legible. I'm thinking I'm going to try to drill a hole in this piece of glass and then hang it from the bottom just to give it more color. Before I put the sand and rocks in, I'm going to clean this up a little bit. It'll be much easier to sand it now before everything's in there. Got the channel cut and all the sides smoothed off. So now I'm going to try gluing in some sand. Hopefully I don't glue my fingers to it. I'll let that dry for a little bit, but I think this glue is not liquidy enough. While that's drying, I'm going to try drilling the hole in the piece of glass. I'm going to start by grinding a little divot that hopefully will keep the drill bit from skating around. Not really thinking this is going to work. We'll see. That's barely made a dent. Back inside, the glue should be dry now. It looks like there's a lot of gaps in this. What's there is very hard, but it didn't flow everywhere, so there's a lot of empty space. I think I'll head off to the hardware store now. Gluing around too. Okay, now I need to get outside and stop breathing this and try drilling more holes. This time I have a carbide bit from my mill. It's a 1/16 of an inch, so it's a lot bigger. And it cracked. Next plan is a much larger piece of clear glass. I'm going to try drilling it the same way. See if this one works. Okay, that's one hole all the way through. I let it sit overnight so it would harden, but it looks like instead it shrank. And it's gotten all cloudy and bubbly. So I'm going to try to clean this up with some acetone, see if that helps. Maybe do another few layers. I was trying to get it so it would be all smooth on top, but I think that just might be too thick, so it ends up not curing right. Let's see. With the wire wheel, I was able to clean off everything that hadn't cured. All the shells and stones are still in place, and they're pretty solid. So I'm going to try building up that layer again, but maybe thinner layers and a lot more of them. I haven't been able to get the super glue to work. I can't build up a thick enough layer that will actually cure. So I'm going to do a little bit more sand in there, and then I'll call that finished.